One wallet you can hold in your head, its address, what it holds, what you did with it last week. All of it fits in memory. The trouble starts quietly, somewhere around the fifth or sixth wallet, when the details stop fitting and you begin to guess, which wallet did I fund and from where? Did I already do that step on this one, or was that a different wallet? The real risk of running many wallets was never a detector catching you. It is you losing track of your own operation and eventually losing funds because of it. This is a practical system for staying organized when the count climbs, built the boring way, as ops rather than memory. I run real proxy and cloud phone infrastructure for a living, and the thing that keeps a farm of devices from turning into chaos is not cleverness, it is bookkeeping. The same is true here. I treat a set of wallets exactly like a rack of hardware, as an operation that needs a written record, a routine, and a way to recover when something goes wrong. Nothing in this video is financial advice or a promise about any drop. It is the organizational discipline that keeps a multi-wallet setup from quietly falling apart and keeps your funds where you left them. The master sheet is the spine. The center of the system is a single source of truth, a plain spreadsheet that lists every wallet you run. One row per wallet, and every row tells you at a glance what that wallet is, what it is for, and what you have done with it. A CSV or an ordinary spreadsheet is enough. There is nothing fancy here. The value is not the format, it is that there is exactly one place you trust, kept current, instead of scattered notes across a dozen apps. If the sheet and your memory ever disagree, the sheet wins, because the sheet is the thing you maintain on purpose. Columns in a row. A useful row holds a few boring fields. A short label, the public address, the chain or chains it lives on, what it is genuinely for, in a word or two, savings, trading, testing, a specific kind of activity, when it was funded, and roughly from where, and a column or two for notes. None of this is secret, every address is public already, so the sheet is a map of what you own and why, not a vault of anything sensitive. Keep the fields consistent across every row and the whole thing stays readable no matter how long it grows. Labels you will still understand later. The single most useful habit is labeling wallets consistently and meaningfully. A name that tells you the wallet's purpose at a glance beats a random string, and it beats a clever code you will not remember in a month. Pick a simple convention and stick to it across the sheet, your wallet software, and anywhere else a wallet shows up. The moment two systems call the same wallet by two different names, you are back to guessing. Boring, descriptive, and identical everywhere is the whole goal. Tracking activity per program. Beyond what each wallet is, you need to track what each wallet has done and for which program. This is where a flat list of addresses becomes an actual operating record. A simple grid, wallets down one side and programs across the top, lets you see which wallet has done what and where the gaps are. The point is not completeness for its own sake. It is to know your own state, so you never have to guess whether a wallet already handled a given step. Knowing beats guessing every single time, and guessing is the thing that costs you. The one hard rule, no secrets in the sheet. Here is the line that makes all of this safe. The sheet holds public information only, addresses, labels, purposes, dates, notes. It never, under any circumstances, holds a seed phrase, a private key, or a password. The whole convenience of one organized place turns into one catastrophic target the instant you put secrets in it. A spreadsheet is not a safe. It lives in files and backups and maybe a cloud sync you forgot about. Public in the sheet, secret somewhere built for secrets, always. Seed phrases live somewhere built for them. A seed phrase is the master key to a wallet. Whoever holds it holds the funds, permanently and with no recovery, so seeds get handled with a completely different level of care than the sheet. Never typed into a website, never pasted into a chat, never stored in a screenshot or a plain note or a cloud document. For many wallets, that means writing them down physically, on paper or steel, stored somewhere safe, or leaning on hardware devices so you rarely touch a raw seed at all. The system points at your wallets, it does not contain their keys, And that separation is the difference between organized and exposed. A password manager for everything else. Underneath the wallets sits a pile of ordinary credentials, exchange logins, email accounts, the passwords protecting software wallets, backup codes for two-factor. That whole layer belongs in a real password manager, not a text file and not the same spreadsheet. A password manager generates strong, unique passwords, stores them encrypted behind one master password, and means a breach of one account does not hand over all of them. For a multi-wallet operator, this is not optional polish, it is basic infrastructure, because the accounts around your wallets are part of your security whether you treat them that way or not. Hardware where the value actually is. Not every wallet needs the same protection, and pretending they do just burns money and effort. The sensible pattern is tiering. Wallets that hold real value get hardware protection, a dedicated device that signs without ever exposing the key. Wallets used only for low-stakes exploration can be lighter software wallets, because a loss there stings without being a disaster. Your sheet can even carry a column for which tier each wallet is in, so you always know which ones you genuinely cannot afford to be careless with. Protection follows value, deliberately, instead of everything getting the same lazy treatment. A task tracker so nothing is missed or repeated. The sheet tells you what your wallets are. A task tracker tells you what you still need to do. Across many wallets and several programs, steps fall through the cracks in both directions. You forget one entirely, or you do the same one twice without realizing. A simple checklist, per program or per wallet, fixes both. It does not need to be software. A checklist in the same spreadsheet works fine. The discipline is what matters. The goal is to always know your own state, so effort lands where it is needed and not on a step already done. Why doing a step twice is its own problem. Missing a step is the obvious failure. Doing one twice is the quiet one. Repeating an action you already completed wastes real gas for nothing, and it clutters your own records until you can no longer trust them. There is a second defensive reason to care. Mechanical repetition across wallets is exactly the kind of pattern that on-chain analysis is built to notice. Described third person, and an operator who tracks their own steps simply avoids producing accidental repetition in the first place. Keeping a clean record is not about tricking anything, it is about doing each thing once, on purpose, and knowing that you did. Backups, because one copy is no copy. Everything so far assumes your records and your keys survive, and that assumption needs backing up, literally. The master sheet should exist in more than one place, so a single dead drive does not erase your whole map. Seed backups, kept in their own secure way, should exist in more than one safe location, because a single sheet of paper is one fire or one flood from gone. The password manager needs its own recovery path thought through in advance. One copy is no copy, and redundancy is the only thing standing between a bad day and the total loss. Test the backups before you trust them. A backup you have never tested is a guess, not a safety net. Verify that a seed backup actually restores by recovering a wallet from it on a spare device before real value depends on it. Confirm you can open your password manager from a second place. Make sure someone could actually read and use your master sheet, including you, in 6 months, once the shorthand has gone fuzzy. The worst moment to discover a backup was incomplete is the moment you desperately need it. A quick test now is the cheapest insurance in this entire system. Keep it current or it rots. An organizing system is only as good as how current it is, and the sheet you update once and abandon is worse than useless, because it lies to you with confidence. The discipline is to log as you go. Update the row the same day you found the wallet or complete a step, not weeks later from memory. This is the genuinely hard part, not the setup, the upkeep. It is a small, boring habit, repeated forever, and it is exactly what separates a system you can trust from a stale document you have quietly stopped believing, where the system itself should live. The organizing layer deserves the same thought about exposure as everything else. A plain spreadsheet of public addresses is low risk by design, but the accounts and devices it sits on still matter. Keep it on a clean machine behind a real password, and be deliberate about which cloud sync, if any, it rides on. This is not paranoia, it is consistency, the same care applied to the map that you apply to the territory. It holds no secrets by rule, but it still reveals the shape of your whole operation, and that is worth keeping somewhere sensible rather than wide open. The honest part, this is real work. None of this is exciting, and it is genuinely more work than most people expect, which is the honest thing to say about it. Maintaining a sheet, a tracker, a password manager, and tested backups across a growing set of wallets is ongoing effort, not a one-time setup you finish and forget. The payoff is not a guaranteed reward. Nothing here promises that. The payoff is simply not losing track and not losing funds, which over a long enough run is worth far more than any single opportunity you might chase. The honest takeaway, the thing that ends most multi-wallet efforts is not getting caught. It is getting confused, then getting careless, and then losing something you did not have to lose. The defense is unglamorous and completely reliable. Get it out of your head and into a system. Keep secrets where secrets belong, and public data where it is convenient. Track what you have done so you neither miss nor repeat. Back it up, test it, and keep it current. Do that, and the count of wallets stops being a source of dread and becomes just a number in a spreadsheet you trust. That is the whole system, and it is boring on purpose. The full guides and the tools I trust for exactly this, the sheet layout I actually use, the password and hardware setups and the backup routine are written up at airdropfarming.org, with no hype, no guarantees, and nothing here being financial advice or a promise about any drop. Subscribe if you want the operator view, the boring infrastructure most guides skip, explained plainly and kept honest. Next time, we step from organizing your wallets to organizing your connections, how the network path behind each wallet fits into the same operating picture, and why treating your proxies and your wallets as one system rather than two is what keeps the whole setup consistent instead of leaking at the seams.